Hello everybody, Flick here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At. Today we're taking a look at the multiplayer expansion for Final Fantasy 15 called Comrades. I bought Final Fantasy 15, the base game, myself. However, the season pass was provided to me by Square Enix for the purposes of recording this video. I might also in the future go back and cover episode Gladius, episode Prompto, etc, etc. But we're focusing on the multiplayer expansion. You do require the online services of whatever console you're playing on. I'm playing this on PS4, so I have PSN Plus. You can also play against bots, but to play the game at all, I believe you have to have PSN Plus. If you have the season pass for Final Fantasy 15, you have access to Comrades right now. You can go and try it. You can also buy it as a separate entity. However, cost-wise, you are actually going to get a much more for your money if you just get the season pass. Chat was throwing around numbers for me as I played this a little bit on stream the other night there. Comrades by itself is $20, but the season pass can be received, obtained. You don't say something is gotten, that's terrible. You can get the season pass for $25, so I would say all the additional episodes and free like skin packs and whatnot are probably worth the extra $5. I do have some issues with Comrades, however, what I've played so far, and I think I've been playing for about 5 or 6 hours now, I like it. I like it, but I do also occasionally like grindy games. See Monster Hunter, for instance. Anyway, this is my character. The Comrades mode is set during the long year gap towards the end of the game. I'll be a bit vague for spoilers, but the world is on the brink of perpetual night, and demons roam during the night. So we're in one of the few surviving cities that is trying its hardest to generate power for the region via the meteorite that crash landed here years and years ago. So we are a former member of the Kingsglaive, which were Noctis's royal family protectors, bodyguards, assassins, etc. Lost our memory. We're here and we're just kind of trying to help out. And we have a remnant of the King's power, which is a bit of a retcon, actually, because in the Kingsglaive movie, when poor old Sean Bean died yet again, every Kingsglaive member lost their power. So it's a retcon, but you still have your powers. You have Noctis-esque fighting powers because you were once given power from the previous king. So that's the setup. This is my current gear. I'm using a katana, a throwing star, a spear, and a shield. And you get royal sigils as you go on. The Oracle is the first one you get access to. I haven't had access to any more yet. They're locked behind spending a lot of power on the world map, and this isn't any kind of like microtransaction thing or anything like that. It's just a currency of the mode. There's no Comrade loot boxes or anything like that, which sounds like a fantastic expansion for a Russian game. But anyway, I'm getting bogged down in menus here to start with, and I didn't mean to do that. I apologise, but other than that, it's very basic stuff. We're going to jump into a quest. Think of the quest like kind of like honestly like a Monster Hunter kind of setup. There's urgent quests which unlock certain areas. There's generic quests, you can do them over and over, and the game does have a certain aspect of having to do them over and over. We will worry about sending power to a location because that's how you unlock new quests. After I've gone on one, so we can actually get some fighting. So let's go to this one, and I will redo a simple one. I will redo this one to fight some spiders, and I will recruit AI. Now, at the time of me recording, the servers are a little congested, I think. I was just reading the game's news column before starting. And there's also an issue where if you level up at camp with another player, as in a human player, that also happens to level up, one of you will not get credit for the level until you do another quest. So I'll avoid that just by playing with the AI. The AI is fine. It's more competent than a human player in terms of getting to you to save you if you go down in combat. So let's put it that way. But we'll load into our camp here. In camp, you grab a food item, and regardless of what food item you pick up, it just means that if you go down in combat and no one rescues you in time, you will revive for free once. You can also find replacement food on missions, so it's not necessarily once and you're done. I've got some potatoes. There, I took potatoes. I also have an icon pack equipped, so I can spam a chocobo that has given up on life, if the game will let me. It's loading in the bot, so I can't bring up my chat menu right now. In 1 second, there you go. Oh no, it's not displaying the picture. I'll wait until the other bot's in and then I'll do it. It's one of my most favourite things I've ever seen. It's just a Jacobo that has stopped caring. There it is. Or maybe it's not that he's not caring, it's just that he's really upset with whatever you just did. It is called Angry as the emote, but I love that drawing. It's so simple yet so fun. Anyway, these are the bots who are going to join us on this mission. If you set up a camp, you can set up one for players, get matched with random players. You can set up a private camp as well, though there's no crossplay between like PS4 or Xbox, etc. So, we're ready, we're good to go. And for this mission, we're just going to be fighting a bunch of low-level little spiders, and then some big ones appear, and we'll fight them. As far as visuals, same as the base game pretty much. There's a little bit of slowdown when you load in bots. There is new music tracks, and the music is good. I also need my katana for this because these guys are weak to fire. And as I say, you basically fight the same as Noctis, more or less. If you hold down the block button, which for Noctis would be the blink dodge teleport mode, you put up a barrier, and if anyone is nearby your barrier, you heal them. You also kind of can turn it if you like, although I don't know if direction actually matters. It might not. But you can do that. Also, as I'm sure you'll be hearing, maybe even a bit too loud, because I was trying to get this audio balance right with my chat last night, the new music tracks for the Comrades mode is excellent. I do prefer some of the combat tracks from the base game. For certain weapons though, if you also do a block, like just at the right time, you will do a counter, which I should be about to do. Nope, keep going up. Where instead of just taking the shot, you actually counter with a massively powerful attack. I tried to do it there and was too slow, unfortunately. And depending on the weapons you're using, they have different different properties. So the katana, the whole shtick with that is between attacks I can side dash, and that means you can dodge any attacks. You can also pull backwards to kind of jump away from an enemy for a second to prepare a big swing. Every weapon can blink teleport to the enemy though. And if you run out of MP, you look for a safe spot and then you teleport to it and rest. Again, same as Noctis. It is very easy to run out of MP if you, for instance, hold L2 and press triangle, which is your heal, and because of the sigil I'm using, my heal spell is actually better than normal. It has a bigger AoE and heals for more. And I also have an offensive spell. However, depending on the weapon I'm equipped with, my equipped spell changes element as well. What is this? Right, so that's just a base pickup. So for instance, if I am using my katana, my offensive spell is actually fire, but if I switch to, say, the throwing stars, my offensive spell becomes ice. Or, well, blizzard. And then if I'm using my spear, it becomes thunder. Just shoot forward a little taser there. But as I say, these spiders are weak to fire, so I kind of had to stick with the katana. Oh, they found one over there. So the combat is nice. I would say the graphics don't look any worse to me, or better, than the base game. Player model faces maybe not as much effort put in. And sometimes when you're talking to NPCs in your base camp, they don't move their mouths when they're talking. So two other big spiders are going to appear. We're going to clear them out with no problem. Several bosses have appeared. I think that one also tried to hit me. I'll play with this one then. Just throw a bit of fire into the combo. Now, unfortunately, these aren't the best enemy for it, but there's also something called, I think it's called a warp strike combo, where if you do a counter against a boss enemy, where you put up your block that you would normally trigger a counter, everything kind of goes blue, and then you can initiate warp strikes over and over again until you run out of MP, and so can your teammates. So it's usually the best way to kill the harder enemies, because they have a lot of HP. They're killing the big ones, so I'm just going to kind of mop up the constantly spawning small fry. I'll draw their attention, will you? Well, I'm going to spam an angry Jacobo. There he goes. Or there she goes, rather. That's a very simple mission. I was over-leveled for it, so don't let that be indicative of the difficulty. The difficulty of the game is actually quite hard, honestly. Now, in part, that's due to one of the slight issues with the game, and I guess you're going to see a perfect example of the other thing I was going to bring up right now with the quest ending. But first we go back to camp again, and then based on the items you picked up and didn't use to revive yourself during a hunt, whoever you get selected as your chef, it's usually the lady in the black leather. Let's see if it is. I've had like Cindy do it once, and then some random guy. But depending on who your chef is, they chuck in some ingredients. The ingredients you brought back from not using, and you can find rarer quality stuff on a mission, sometimes they drop from monsters, they get chucked into the pot, and based on all of that, you get given a random dish which gives you an effect for the next mission. So she's adding wheat, garlic and the tomato, plus what we threw in. We get a dish of some kind, probably the pasta. Oh, that's new. Creamy meat and veggie saute, which is going to increase my attack and also item drop rate for the next mission. So that carries over to the next completed mission. You have a meal afterwards, that carries on, and so on. So we're going to load back into my hub. It's a hub just for you. where you can take solo quests which are story based ever so often. And you do meet and interact with people from the story. Like I can show you, like, Talbot's there in town, Gladius or Gladio is there somewhere. His sister runs the shop where you can buy additional hairstyles, tattoos and clothing and whatnot. Yeah, I'll do a quick rundown of the town and all its features, show you how we distribute power, then we'll go on another quest. But anyway, this is going to take about 20 years to load back into the hub that's just for me. I would understand if it was loading in lots of other players. The loading times are like pre-patch Final Fantasy 15 slow. They are slow, and some missions, if you screw up real bad, you can actually fail like 1 minute in, 2 minutes in, and you've got to sit through this. You can't just instantly retry. So the biggest gripe I have with Comrades is, honestly, these loading times are atrocious for how little it is doing. I hope that it'll be fixed, honestly. The other slight issue is it's super grindy. It's like super grindy. I'm almost level 10. If I was to go do a level 15 quest, you're going to have level 30 monsters turning up on it with about 80,000 HP each, and that's not an exaggeration. In fact, I can prove it in a second. And fights take too long as a result. So you want to grind, but at the same time, your level affects your maximum HP and MP. What really affects your stats, though, is upgrading your weapons. However, you can only unlock better weapons from clearing things on the map, and there's no telling where the new schematics for weapons are. That might sound confusing, but anyway, very quick rundown then. I'll show you kind of what I mean. This is our weapon vendor here. And on the map, when you spend power, you can unlock new locations, which gives you weapon schematics. Right now, my weapons are very sparse. I have unlocked a second settlement though, and they had different equipment. But in general, don't have access to a lot, and they are the primary determiner of what your stats are. That's why it's also a good idea to have 4 weapons equipped, even if you don't really use 4 weapons, because you get the stats from the weapons even if you're not using them. So then we have the photo guy who works for like the Meteor newspaper or whatever. Yeah, Vivi. You interact with him quite a lot in the base game. He's basically the Prompto service. So after a couple of missions, if you check in with him, it generates photographs for you. And you can save the ones that you think look nice. This is from a Marlboro mission I was doing before I recorded this, and that's actually a pretty cool shot, so I'm going to save it. It's a Marlboro doing bad breath while someone launches fire at his back. It was a very difficult mission, incidentally. That's kind of funky looking. Me casting a barrier at the cameraman. I'll save that one as well, why not? I've yet to see any like super amazing ones though. That's not bad. So yeah, you can save them, and then to the next bench you can look at all the ones that you've saved. The maximum of 300 on PS4 anyway. I don't know if it's any different anywhere else. So that's our quest lady that you saw me speak to before. Talbot is over here, and he just kind of spouts random information.
Right now, Golden Key is the only
His lips are not moving.
All of Lucis, and Dino says the Glaives and the Hunters are keeping it safe. Apparently, everyone's worried about Angel Guard though. He said the entire island is covered in dark clouds. I told Dino to call me back if anything happens. I wonder if
they started moving at the end there. That's weird. Yeah, so this is right at the start of the time skips, because Talbot is obviously an adult by the time you come back towards the end, and also it's permanently night, whereas we're kind of at where night is longer than day, but it isn't always nighttime. Anyway, this gentleman lets you create another avatar or edit the one you're playing as if you unlock, say, like a new hairstyle, new clothing, or you want to just change your colours. I think you can have 8 avatars or 8 separate characters, but progress is saved across all of them. So it's purely if you want to just like change your look, or maybe if you have a character focused around strength and you want to have one focused around healing, you can do that if you want. You can also just change the weapons on the one character, I suppose, and change which sigil of the king you're using. Anyway, Iris is over here, and she sells clothing and also etiquette books, which give you different conversations that you can do while in fights. Like there's the Chocobo one I was using, there's a Cactuar one, there's a Moogle one, and different settlements sell different ones. Like I found a, what's that crow called? It's Kenny the Crow. There's one for him, but it's super expensive. And again, when I say expensive, and I'm talking about like currencies and whatnot, it's all in-game stuff you earn. There's no like transaction levels on top of this. Anyway, Sid is over here, and this is how you upgrade weapons. You bung a weapon in here. Where did I get Besmirched Blade? Oh, I killed a Ronin on a mission, so I wonder if I got it there. So its base attack damage is 1. And it has 20 max level. Alright, there must be some kind of additional crafting thing I can do with this later on, so I'm going to hold on to this. Did not know I had that. And as I say, all the weapons I'm using currently, I've maxed them out. So my stats are as good as I can be. But for instance, let's say if I pick these daggers that I'm not using. They're level 15 out of 20. You can sell monster bits when you get them, but it's much better if you use them to put them in a weapon. And it sometimes gives them additional skills. Like for instance, if I was to stick this prawn antenna in something that had a spare skill slot, it would change my magic spell to Blizzard, as it says there. If you don't have any element, it's kind of like a burst of... what was the name of the magic style that Lightning used? Was it just called Pain? No, it wasn't called Pain. I'm blanking on what it was called, but it looks like that. So sometimes weapons have like 2 slots for perks, sometimes they don't. If you try and put something in that's already got a perk in the space, it doesn't overwrite, it just takes the stats. So for instance, this Arba Spur, if I was to try and put this into the daggers, it would raise my ballistic defense by 4%, and it would raise my HP by, or my vitality stat by 3, which in turn would give me more HP. And you can kind of see how it would affect the stats. It raises the base damage of the weapon as well. So that's how you upgrade things. I need to find more weapons.
So
That's what I'm stuck on before I can't get better stats until I get more weapons. But anyway, when you do a mission you get a bunch of gil, which you can buy weapons with. And you also get power. And if you go to the lady here from the main story,
Ready to get powered up?
you can get an idea for where I've been spending power. And I have been spending a lot of power. All over the place. My current goal is to get access to 4 main stations. I've only really got access to 1, which is Old Lestalem. I'm nearly at the Hunter HQ. What does that say? Mildasio? Oh, in fact, I can actually buy my way there right now and we can go see a new settlement together. It might cause a story beat. I honestly am not sure. Sometimes the story beats just kind of seem to happen when you come back to town after a quest. I do wonder if it's tied to total number of quests done as opposed to quest-specific ones in a Monster Hunter type of way. I'm honestly not sure. But there's a lot of stuff to unlock on the map. This will give me 2 out of 4 on my main objective though, and as a result, again, we might get a story beat, so let's see if that is the case. And it also means I can visit the settlement and see what kind of stuff is for sale there. So yes, I can travel to there.
Still no news of Prince Noctis's whereabouts. A couple of us hunters teamed up with some folks from the Crown's Guard and searched high and low for him. And just when we thought we were on a roll, they put the kibosh on our investigation. I'd say that's about the time his retainers left town, too.
Okay, so the shuttle for Mildasio Hunter HQ is now up and running. And again, my main quest has forwarded itself. We do still have a little bit of power left over though, and I noticed I think there's a cheap... Oh,
What do you
I think
say?
there's a cheap bit I can buy up here as well. Where were we? Oh, actually, what's this? That's 4,000 gil. And that's Fashion Sketchbook. I want the Fashion Sketchbook because that's more costumes and my character is a Barbie doll. However, if I come over here, I get Biggs and Wedge as people. So instead, I will do this for now
We've got the power.
and spread a bit more power to the region. Refugees have been escorted, so they're at the Hunter HQ. Okay, and that keeps on going up there to unlock a Quetzalcoatl Slaughter quest. But yeah, now that I know that I need like 2,000 power to unlock some more costumes by coming this way, or 4,000 power, I guess. Oh wait, no, you still just spend 2,000 from here. That would also get me 4,000 gil, which is nice. Definitely want those fashion things regardless.
Say hi to your pals.
But let's head to new HQ. There might be some new NPCs to talk to there. I honestly don't know. I've never been here. So if we come down this way, and we'll get ourselves a transport over here.
I've seen a lot of crowns.
Oh yeah, audio also has this thing where if you hang around NPCs, you'll hear what they say. But if you move away even a little bit, they'll hard cut, which is very strange. Now let's go to Mildasio Hunter HQ and see what's happening there. There should be a new vendor. Probably 2, honestly, and then maybe some people to talk to. But who knows, this might be a bit different to Old Lestalem in terms of like what facilities are available, since this is the Hunter base. I think it's fair to say that in general I have to fill these loading times by talking about something. It's fair to say I've been enjoying my time with Comrades so far. I don't think it's not a very watchable game. Final Fantasy 15 as a base game, I obviously did a series on it for the channel. It had constant story beats and whatnot, so I feel like it was better. Whereas this is mostly about the grind. The story is, there is a story and it's interspersed, but it's got so much grind and you have to kind of focus so much on the fights that take a while if you're underpowered. It's not a very watchable game for other people, but I feel like if you enjoyed Final Fantasy 15 and want more, this will provide you with additional enjoyment and potentially far off into the future, depending on how much they kind of focus on this. I think if it does well, it'd be a really good idea for them to kind of focus on it. So that looks like someone I can talk to over there, but my first stop is definitely the fashion shop, because that's the most important.
How are you today?
What are you selling? You're selling Lucio's hair and some face makeup, a terrible looking Marlboro tattoo rather. All I ask for is Cloud Strife's hair, so I can complete my weeb character. Is that so much to ask? It's also selling some clothing. Oh, that's the vest that the main hunter wears. I can't remember their name offhand rather. Yes, you're selling some stuff. Not ready to change my look yet. I kind of like this jacket. At character creation, you are able to customize quite a bit. I like any game that lets me have blue hair, so I can at least look vaguely like my channel avatar. Now, let's see what's going on over here. Are you Imperial Guard? So what do you do?
Welcome.
Use a pickaxe to unearth meteor shards and other treasures. Would you like to purchase a pickaxe for 3,000 gil? Ooh, yeah. Visit the various mining points and dig up as much treasure as you can before time runs out. I have 3 minutes. Start digging. I can only do 8 maximum. Okay. Is this a quick time event? Oh! Ram that button! I got a platinum ingot. Okay. I want to find different rocks ideally. Oh, there's a point there. Ideally I want a meteorite shard because that will just give me more power to spend. Ram that button. Ram that like button. Sorry, I mean circle. Iron shavings, that's a bust. Oh, this looks very impressive. Is there not one on this? Ah, yeah, there we go. What do we get? Platinum ingot. What about a meteor shard, though? Let's see. Oh, this looks shiny as well. We'll try it. Fragile rock. No, it's actually Fraggle rock. Oh, cactuar needle. Let's try that again. We're running out of time, actually, so I should probably just use... Uh-oh, did I press too quickly there? I think I pressed too quickly there. Either that or I accidentally pressed X once and it cancelled it. Centipede jaws. So these again are things I can put into weapons. This looks like a Gravios. Crystal laden rock. This seems like the one where I should use the rest of my presses on. Not just because we're coming down to 1 minute remaining. I got nothing? Did I get literally nothing there? That sounds about my luck when it comes to mining in these types of games. Oh wait, no, I'm getting power. It's in the top right. I got 1,000 power there. Nice. So I guess on the other one I probably got 1,000 power too. So that's enough to unlock the extra designs. I think. And one last swing. It'd be funny if the tip of the pickaxe just went flying. My pickaxe broke. I did get power. Alright, so you can kind of spend like 3,000 gil to be equivalent to maybe a couple of thousand power. Now, weapon vendor. What are you selling?
Hey, what are you after this time?
Oh, you're selling a new katana. It's thunder based. It only has 1 slot for a skill, but it does change your spell to thunder. Its base damage is a lot higher, so I can make that a better katana, basically. My only fear is then I'd lose having a fire weapon, and enemies having particular elemental weaknesses is very important. You're selling a new... Oh, a spear with life drain on it. Standard attacks have a chance of draining HP equivalent to 10% of the damage inflicted. Oh, you're selling a couple of daggers as well. A couple of crossbows. A new shield, a clarity shield, which is confuse proof. And a new spear. So I'm just thinking, I guess my ideal here is buy the new katana because it's kind of like my main weapon. My current spear is also thunder based, so maybe get that spear just so it's not got an element associated with it. But for now, I don't mind giving up a fire weapon, I guess. I say through clenched teeth because I'm honestly not sure. I haven't tried the crossbows yet, incidentally. I mean that in the base game as well. I will buy this either way, and we'll see how we can upgrade it. I can actually just afford this too, so I will do the same. And we'll see what I can do for my stats.
See you later.
What else is there to do here, if anything at all? What are you doing? Can I talk to you? Doesn't seem like it. You can't take quests from additional settlements. Incidentally, you do only come here for the shops. You have to go back to your main base. Doesn't look. There's no icons on the map. I just thought I'd come over here just in case. Might be like a hidden story beat. I think, Sid said at one point that Ignis was up here. Is that Ignis? No, that's not Ignis. It's just a guy. Here's this guy. Oh, it specifically said he came up here to fish or something. Alright, doesn't look like there's anything else to do here yet. I don't know if later on the other settlements come more into play. But what I do know is we can go back to the main settlement and spend some power to unlock new costumes and or hairstyles. And that is priority number 1. This is Fashion Souls. I do realise that I accidentally kind of made my character look like DMC Dante. That was not on purpose, but until the game gives me weeb hair, this is the best it's got. So let's go back to Lestalem. I won't bother visiting old Lestalem. You can see that for yourself if you play it. It was the first settlement I got down to, but I don't know if... I think it might have even been more cost effective to go up to the Hunter one first. But we'll quickly take a look at that, and then we'll do one more quest. Hopefully one I can actually do that won't take forever. Might be able to take on a harder one, actually, depending on how much I can upgrade these weapons by. And then that will do it. So again, you can buy Comrades for Final Fantasy 15 as a separate entity, but you still need to own Final Fantasy 15. But if you have the Season Pass already, you have access to it. It's available to download. I think it was about 7 gig, roughly. And my only complaints are these long-ass loads, and that it is very, very grindy. Like, super grindy. It'd be nicer if you unlocked more equipment at a steadier rate, or something that was very consistent, because as I say, new equipment, unless you get to a settlement, is kind of just hidden on the map. And you don't know what points you have access to until you get additional points prior. So yeah, that would be a nice change. But in general, I think yep, I said that. The reception to the episodes focusing around Noctis's friends have not been that well received, usually because they're either short or just kind of Comrades I see as being more value for money. A definite upside if you have the Season
Ready to
Pass.
get powered up?
Yeah, we have 2,000 on the dot, so we're going to do this.
All right, let's
Which will give
light
me
it up.
6,000 guild, cover my 4,000. And a refugee for the centre there. So to get the clothes I do need 2,000 more power. So
See ya.
ideally I'm going to get 2,000 gil in the next 2,000 power in the next quest I pick. But anyway, what's this blade look like? Oh, it's kind of funky looking. So again, it's thunder based, but what I mostly care about when I'm upgrading these is give me lots of HP and give me lots of attack. So let's start with that centipede jaw.
I've seen worse.
I already give it 5 out of 30 levels. Its base attack damage is really
They're
high.
all tuned up for you.
I'd also like to maybe raise... What would that raise? That would raise my magic damage, my Vit, and also my defense against air, I think? Marlboro hairs? Sure, let's put 2 of them in. We will be able to see the statistical difference when I go to my equip screen afterwards. But in general, I just pile on... Oh, platinum ingots give you just straight up 30 HP. That's pretty interesting. How many levels does it fill? Quite a lot. I'll take them though. I like having a lot of HP as well.
Not too shabby.
HP and strength, but now I need to definitely put something in that was going to increase strength, which is kind of like, it's the flexing fist.
Got her all tuned up for you.
So what have I got? That gives me 2... Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, let's put 3 of them in. That's also going to give me more HP as well. We're running out of room, though. We're at 21 out of 30. So can't do much more with this.
Find anything good out there?
What else we got here? Oh, 2 and 2, hard scale. Put them in. This is going to give me a significant power boost in general. If I can do the same with the spear.
Got her all tuned up for you.
And then maybe just a few sharp bones to finish. Oh, not quite.
Not too shabby.
Get in there. Maybe put in a bit of defense. What element do I want more defense at? Its base is pretty high lightning defense. I guess I could put in like That's ice defense, sure. There's actually quite a few enemies on quests I haven't been able to do yet. They're ice based. So sure, it's maxed out at 162. Now I need to do the same for the spear. It's got life drain and it actually has a gap for a second skill. So I was going to say I'm just going to quickly do this, but actually for my first pick I should be careful. Reduces MP cost of projecting a barrier. I want a left skill that's actually good. Damage output increased by 20% when warp striking an enemy. Yes, this for forever this. It'll also raise my damage and also... Actually I think the thin line is magic damage. Maybe the other one is magic resistance. I can't quite remember. Either way, so now it has Tachyon Boost 2 and Life Drain, which seems pretty good to me. Now all I care about, again, raise its damage as high as possible, raise my strength, raise my HP. Just give me that. Equipping the King Sigil I have right now is actually lowering my damage and vitality by 20%, which is also another reason I want to unlock another one. However, the only one I know of is locked behind needing 30,000 power. I do know where a couple more are, but they're locked behind boss quests that I'm not ready for yet.
You find anything good out there?
Seal. That was... Ooh, yeah, we'll put 2 of them in. Why not? Almost done. 9 levels left to fill. And then we'll see how it changes my stats. Hopefully for the bear.
Got her all tuned up for you.
We've got a lot of Marlboro vines, which just increases whatever that last stat is. I'll do like a little bit of that. Some of the stat symbols I do get confused. I know that the bottom line is definitely your resistances to everything.
Find anything good out there?
Ooh, that's really good. The antique coin would have given me finisher. Final hit in a combo deals 30% more damage. For a spear, that actually would have been really, really good. Oh, I just noticed I accidentally changed it to... Wait. I didn't realise you could get to pick skills. So yes, I want that, and I want finisher 2 instead of anti-stone. Didn't realise I was clicking through because I was trying to go quickly so we weren't bogged down by menus. That was actually constantly overwriting the left skill. The one that's set in the weapon you can't change.
Got her all tuned up for you.
So that's that. Let's just give ourselves a little bit of... This might be kind of like best elemental defense. That would raise my ballistic and blizzard defense. Sure, just pile that in. No skills to worry about. Done. Maxed out at 120 attack. Excellent. Meanwhile, Sid just kind of watches me work. So that'll save. And then we can see how this is going to change my gear. So we're changing the Onakiri to the Chizuru. And you can see how my stats are changing in the bottom left there. Crap ton more HP, crap ton more attack. I'm actually going to lose defense. And I'm also going to lose fire defense. But hopefully when we change the obelisk here to that one, we're gaining attack, gaining defense. We're losing lightning defense, but otherwise, yeah, it's fine. So I don't in general have a fire weapon anymore. I've still got a thunder one, I've got a neutral one, an ice one, and I've got a shield that honestly I'll probably end up replacing with a crossbow or something because I never use the shield. But that's another a thing to worry about on another day. For now, one more mission to finish. Let's see what we have.
I foresee
What can I do
on your horizon
that won't actually murderize me? A level 15 escort? It's risky. What are you fighting on this one, actually? You can press triangle for more information. A cockatrice with 28,000. Basilisk. That doesn't seem too bad. Let me just compare. How much HP did the Marlboros have? 50,000 each. Okay, we'll try this one. Arms for taking to the Hunter's HQ. It's a level 15 quest. It has a level 30 monster on it because that makes perfect sense. And I'll play it with the AI because honestly I trust the AI more than players currently. Also, I think there's an issue where if you have voice chat off and turned all the way down, you still broadcast and they can still broadcast. I'm not quite sure because I noticed that my microphone icon was appearing when I was playing with players earlier today. And I'm like, I don't have a microphone for my PS4, what the hell? So it made me paranoid. I also don't want to like distract people by doing commentary for you people and wonder, who the hell is this person talking to? So our stats are definitely a lot higher now. Whether that will be apparent in this mission, considering I'm under-leveled for it, But first, we have to sit through this load for the camp. We have to wait for the bots to load in. Then we have to load the mission. If we fail the mission, you have to then load back to town. Load upon load upon load, and they're all this slow, which is unacceptable, honestly. It is not loading in that much. Every area, it makes it look like it's big, but you can't leave this area. Honestly, if they're actually rendering in the whole area, that could be why it's so slow. They should just make it look like you're surrounded by stuff, because you're not actually going to go there. That's not my place to tell them their job. However, you're going to hear a lot of pushback about how slow the loads are. Right, so there's my new spear. There's my new katana. Which changes my offensive spell to lightning, and this does not change my offensive spell at all, so it'll be the neutral one, which is just kind of like the pain burst or whatever it was called. Okay, let's go and see how this mission goes. I hope cockatrices are weak to lightning. I don't quite remember. It might be fire. If it's fire, then I've caused problems for myself. Although I could make a crossbow. If I can find a crossbow that's fire-based or just has slots, then that would solve my problems.
Truck and I are counting on you. Don't let us down.
Alright, here we go. Ride in the truck. Ever so often, we'll get attacked. If the truck just goes when the mission starts, incidentally, so if you missed your chance to warp strike to it, you have to run after it and hope for the best. So big cockatrice and a bunch of baby cockatrice. They are not weak to lightning, but they're also not strong against it either. Purple numbers mean they're strong against it. What about the basilisk? Basilisk is neutral. That's still fine. We're doing a lot of damage. What about life drain though? I'm actually curious about whether that kicks in a lot. Oh, I got one... Wait, did I seriously just get 1 HP back for hitting for 700 damage? Because if so, that is not 10%. That's not how maths works. Yeah, fresh tripe, I agree. That was a very apt drop to have happen. It might also be that I just was at full health. That's the other thing. No, I got 41 there. Come back! No time to pick up meat. But yeah, the music is great. I'm actually surprised that they did new tracks for this. Although, as I mentioned to stream when I was trying this out, they might be from like episode Gladio, etc. And I just haven't played those yet, so I don't know. But either way, I like them.
Get ready.
So the truck has a health bar. Sometimes during these escorts, they just die super fast. Ooh, wooden pepper, it's a 2-star, I'll take that. The big cockatrice is the actual danger though. I wonder if it's weak to... Oh, what am I blocking? I blocked it just in time and I did almost 1337 counter damage. Alright, I wonder if you're weak to ice. Let's try that, because I saw someone else using ice on you. You're strong against ice, so that is absolutely not the right idea. It probably is fire they're weak to. This is another problem, but although this is just a problem with the Final Fantasy 15 battle system. If something is running away from you top speed and you're warp striking at it, you will warp strike to it and try and strike and it will keep going. Not necessarily that big of a problem for the most part. There's a mission in this that's level 4 and I still don't have it complete because you have to stop a bunch of horses running through a barrier. And if 2 horses run through it, you lose. If you try and catch up to the horses, you can't because they run faster than you. You can only catch them via warp striking, and if you try and warp strike them, you swing at them and they keep going. My theory is you have to use something like, say, crossbows, maybe. I'm not quite sure how they work. But you definitely can't use like throwing stars. I tried the katana. I haven't tried spears yet either. And each weapon does kind of have a focus. I don't think I can check that out in a mission, but this, like what I was saying for the katana, you can dance around targets. The spear lets you kind of chuck it at a whim to get out of combat super fast. Yeah, that is hostiles, alright. Like, I just dodged that sweeping attack just by moving sideways because I was using the katana. Didn't dodge that one, though. Although, luckily, they're focusing on us, so we don't have to worry about the truck right now. I think the basilisk is actually strong to lightning, unfortunately. It's going down. Maybe try back to the spear to get some life. Oh, you're weak to the spear, or weak. Yeah, you must be just weak to the spear because the spear doesn't have an element, unless the life drain is an element. I do like the final hit of the spear standard combo where you basically do the dragoon's jump and you fall from the sky and hit multiple times. That's why if I noticed I was overwriting skills and I still had Tachyon burst, it would have made that spear drop do ridiculous damage. Not the best place to be fighting one of these. Oh, there's still a basilisk. Focus on that.
Old girl ain't looking too good.
What do you mean the old girl ain't looking so good? You've barely lost any health. Oh, incidentally, if you hold L1, you can target players and teleport to them. Like, for instance, Yura's a bit low on HP, I'll teleport to Yura and cast a heal right next to them. If someone is in the danger status where they've basically reached 0 HP, you have to go to them via that way to actually get them back up without them dying. Oh no. No! I got on barely. My AI companions were not so fortunate, but I believe they can just teleport to me. If not, then we're in trouble. I hope they're at least running after us, because otherwise we're in a lot of trouble. They're here, they're here. Okay, good. We're not gonna die, maybe. Oh, the truck is on half HP. That's not as good. I think the bot called Yura, yeah, he's doing the AoE taunt, so now it should be better, although I'm not sure what's hitting. I think it might just be me getting stumbled on. Yeah. Oh, Yura actually went down. But again, now that they're all kind of in the midst of it, we're getting hit, not the truck, so it's not as bad. Get off my... It jumped on my belly. This little chick must die. Yura has 1 HP. Yura's down. Oh, I must have been confused at some point. It changed me to my shield. Yes, I'm confused right now. Oh, I countered and then chucked the spear at him. That's pretty good.
He's on the verge of breaking down.
Bring the big guy. He's down, and that's the end. We actually won. You can see progress of like kills in the top right. Is Luca lodged in the wall there? Only without us. Oh look, it's the camp. There's the door I was looking out of earlier. And this Let's Look At ended up running on, but that's kind of just because I was focused on playing the game a little bit, and I feel like I probably also spent a bit too long in menus, but that is a degree part of the game. It's a big part of it, actually. That and going on quests over and over to kill many monsters. I feel like this would be best enjoyed with friends, also. Similar to something like Monster Hunter. It helps keep the grind less annoying if you're mucking around with friends at the same time. I almost did 100,000 damage there, that whole mission. Yeah, my damage has definitely gone up. So what are you making with like fresh livers, a thigh, a mystery meat tin? You made mother and child rice bowls, attack and defense up for my next quest. That looks like a wonderful meal. I could go for that right now, in fact. Damn you, high definition food pictures. Anyway, we'll see if any kind of story beat procs when I go back to town, which does sadly mean waiting through another loading screen, but this is my hell. I'll put some kind of relevant link in the description box below. It might just be to the Steam page for Final Fantasy 15 or something. Something for you to check out. There is a landing page for the game type, so I might just link to that instead. But yeah, to recap, I like the Comrades mode. I don't think it's a very watchable mode. I think it is very playable with friends. You do require like PSN Plus or Xbox Live if you're playing on console in order to play it. It is part of the Season Pass, so you have access to it if you have that. You can buy it separately, but check out the pricing, because if it's a difference of $5, you might as well just get the Season Pass. But I don't know if that's because it was on offer or something. So do check that out. And if you want to see me play it a bit more, there will be a VOD of me playing it on my Twitch page from the 15th of November. It's not coming over to YouTube because I had some audio issues at the start of it trying to balance the game. The game was way too loud compared to me. And then there was other players' voices because I didn't realise they were turned on. But yeah, you can see me doing a bit more of it there. Learning the systems a bit more. But the key thing, like if you're struggling with it and you're playing this, always have 4 weapons and always have the best 4 weapons you have access to, because even if you never use them, the stats supply. And that's your main source of improving yourself. Levels give you more HP and MP, but that's about it. Alright, doesn't look like anything triggered, so that is going to do it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Please do show your support, and go check out the Comrades mode of Final Fantasy 15 if you like. My name has been Flick, and I shall see you next time. Ta-ta for now.